Hi, Fadzi. Hi, Monique.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi,
Nivedita.
Vidya.
Hello.
And
Hello,
hi,
Evie.
Evie.
Hi.
Hi, Eva.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see everyone.
Nice
Hello.
to
Hello,
see
nice to
you.
see you, Dimple.
Hi.
Yeah, great. Niv, shall we
Uh,
get started?
yes. So I'll just quickly do some introductions. So like you all can see, we have Evie with us here. Evie is working for Virgin Media, and she's the driving force behind this entire opportunity. And Evie, we have the three women that we've trained on our data course. So we have Fadzi, we have Srividya, and Monique. And Dimple, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm the founder of the company, but this is a great opportunity that Evie gave us. And Evie, thank you on behalf of everybody.
Very welcome.
Yeah. Niv, I think you want to get started.
Sure. So Evie, first I think maybe Fadzi, Vidya, and Monique, could you just quickly introduce yourselves, say something about yourselves to Evie, and then we'll just crack on then.
I'm happy to
Yeah,
go first.
lovely. Thank you.
Hello, Evie and Dimple. It's lovely to meet you. I am Fadzi. I am a pharmacist, trained as a pharmacist. I've been doing that for a couple of decades, and I feel it's time for me to pivot into something different. And I've always loved statistics and things like that. So this really played to my strengths and my interests.
Oh.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Fadzi. Monique, you want to go in next?
Hi everyone. Hi Dimple. Hi Evie. My name's Monique. I'm a little bit about myself is that I'm a fully qualified youth worker and I did it with Dimple on her course. So she allowed me to become fully qualified. I've been doing youth work for about 14 years now. At the moment, I work for an organisation called Hackney Council Voluntary Services as a receptionist, but I also work as a business support officer for an organisation for young people who are in care and are experiencing different barriers in life. But the reason why I wanted to do this course is I feel like I've done my time with working with young people. I wanted to experience something new, and I thought data analyzing was something that I thought I would be good at.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Monique. Vidya?
Hi, I'm Shri Vidya. Hi, everyone. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'm a sales operational analyst. I hold close to 14 years of experience. I worked in India, and this I came to know about this particular course from the LinkedIn. I really enjoyed while having the session with Nivy and everyone, and I'm actively looking for the job at the moment. And that's it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that. Right. So Evie, do you have any questions you'd like to ask our learners before I can put the spotlight on you?
Yeah, I mean, it's so nice to meet everyone, and it's so interesting here about the different backgrounds that you all have, but sounds like there's a shared interest in the data world and tech. Ultimately, there's only really one direction the world's going. Everything's being increasingly digitized, so enhancing your skills in this space is such a brilliant thing to do anyway, but also really fair play for having that sort of introspection and thinking, yeah, I want to do something different, especially like from Monique, your story, like that's so interesting because you're deciding, I do want to do something different. I want to pivot. And I think, yeah, I think it's very admirable to do that and do the work. Sounds like you have a lot of a lot of jobs as well. And the same as Fadzi, like you have had all that time in pharmaceuticals and you're ready to embrace your interest in statistics and see where that will take you. And similarly, sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name.
Vidya.
Exactly like what you're wanting to do as well to try and get a new job is it's brilliant. So fingers crossed everything that you've done with uh, Purple Beard will help you in your career journey, and I'm sure it will.
Thank you for that. S- Evie, can you just help the learners and us also understand like why did Virgin Media choose to support this social value project?
Yeah, of course. So I'll probably do a little introduction into who I am as well. So
Yes.
I am the social value lead at Virgin Media O2 Business. So it's Virgin Media O2 because we did merge with O2 nearly 4 years ago now. Joint ventures are a very interesting operation, but I was originally employed by Virgin Media. So I was on the graduate scheme in 2018, joined that after leaving uni, moved around the business for 2 years on the graduate scheme. Didn't really enjoy many of the rotations. I was in product and I was in like business improvement, and then I finally landed in social value as my final graduate rotation. And what that basically is, with the public sector, so local government, central government, police authorities, emergency services, and the NHS, when they're coming out to contract for IT services, so telecommunication services, that goes to something called, it goes to a tender. And when that happens, businesses like Virgin Media O2, Vodafone, BT, City Fibre will all bid for work because they want to win that piece of business. These can be multi-million-pound contracts, but when you're bidding for work, you have to do a whole business proposal about why you're the best, why you should be awarded that contract. And that can cover, you want to have a good price, you want to make sure the solution's really competitive and fit for purpose. But the third element is social value. So what additional benefits are you going to bring to, usually if it's a local authority, say it's Lewisham Council, what benefits are you going to provide to Lewisham's communities, economy and natural environment through that contract? And because we're a tech organisation, a lot of our social value strategy is underpinned by trying to focus on doing more with digital, improving digital inclusion, but also trying to improve and drive digital skills. And from our perspective, there's only so much we can do on our own. And I was introduced to Dimple a year and a bit ago, I suppose, from one of my colleagues. And it just sounded like working with Purple Beard would be such a good fit for us, given the own social value motives behind Purple Beard, supporting social mobility, supporting especially women as well in tech. That's something that really aligned with our values and how we want to drive social value. So it was a case of, we need to make sure we have compelling social value propositions to score well in tenders, because we are asked, how are you going to support individuals in an area, improve their skills, improve access to learning and training? And there was only so much we could do in-house. So that's why working with Dimple and Navita as well has enabled us to support more people, just like you guys. So it's been just such a great partnership in that way, because it's allowed us to put another string on our bow from a social value perspective. And I'm sure if you're interested in more like what other things we do for social value, I can talk about that later. But it just felt Purple Beard was just a really good organisation to partner with, to score really well on social value and have that real world impact. And just seeing you three on the call is just brilliant, because it's a tangible realization of that partnership and what we've been able to achieve.
That's always so good to hear. And since you said all those things, Evie, what was your experience like working with us at Purple Beard?
Oh, brilliant. Very, very seamless. So when you're bidding for work, and this is probably the bit where there is back and forth, when you're writing a bid response, it's like being at school. So, at school, the teachers would always say, read the question, just answer the exam question. That's what you get told in business as well. It's like, what is the question? And for example, the deal that we worked on for this, the question is very clear about, they want to know what you're going to do, how are you going to do it, who are you going to support, what are the time scales, what's the impact going to be, how are you going to report on it? So there's all these very specific questions that we got asked, and the team at Purple Beard were so great in giving those responses. So we worked together, we got that response together, and we scored very well, and it helped us win the bid. Brilliant for us, brilliant for you guys. So it's such a two-way street, because without having this proposition, we wouldn't be able to have written as compelling a response, and it wouldn't have enabled us to score as highly in social value. So it's so imperative to have good social value responses to win public sector business, and which is a great thing, right? It's not just about who can offer the cheapest product. It's what else are you doing for that council's community. It shouldn't just be, oh, because it's cheap. It's like, no, what more can businesses do? So yeah, it was a great experience.
Well, thank you so much, Evie. It's always lovely to hear that. Monique, let's get your thoughts in over here. How has this training program or this entire program, benefited you? What's the impact on you with regards to training that you received here?
I thought it was really educational. It allowed me to really like understand like different ways data can be used within an organization, in regards to like how many sales a company might be making, or where they might not be hitting certain targets. And I didn't realize all of that could be captured through data. I only thought, because I've used data in one of my past roles, where like we had to find out if he was hitting targets in regards to like young people gaining employment, education, or training. So I've always looked at data through that and that aspect, but I've never or if like someone's like regards to like funding bids, I've done data around that, and like if people are hitting their outcomes in regards to like cost of living and stuff like that. But I've never like seen like data done through like put on an Excel sheet before. So that was like a different way of like looking at data and how data could be used in that aspect. So I thought that was quite good. And yeah, that's it really. It was just really educational, and I learned a lot.
Super, that's always nice to hear. Thank you so much, Monique. Fadzi, now that you've been, enriched with all these data skills, how do you feel? I'll just keep it simple to you.
I feel empowered. I think this is going to really help in terms of just looking at business insights. And I think the major advantage to it is that it can be applied across industries. So with a health background, I could go into health tech, or I could explore any other sort of fields where data analysis is required, and just see what value I can add to the companies that I work for.
That is very true. Thank you so much, Fadzi. Vidya, let's hear about you. How do you think your training and the skills you've acquired, how is that first of all going to contribute to your journey ahead, career-wise?
Of course, definitely. I gained so much confidence because I had a career gap of close to 3 years, and it's kind of an added value for my resume, where I can say I have enhanced my skills in terms of learning tech side, where I can say I am so confident in the particular Power BI or SQL, whatever. So I can say clearly, because I do worked in data type pulling, but it is in a different way. Most of the time I worked in Excel, but this is completely different. I can present my data in different way, and also I can work on the data in a different way. So it's so much value for me. I can highlight in my resume, say like in my career gap, I have enhanced my skills and learned so many things during my break. So it's more value for me.
That's wonderful. This is exactly why we're doing these things, so that's really good. Evie, let's come back to you. You've heard the women talk, now vaguely, you've got a background about them. So what stood out to you about the learners and these journeys that they've embarked on?
I think it's just what's interesting is how different all the backgrounds are, but the common interest in the value that they see in this, which is great. And as I mentioned at the top of the call, having these skills is crucial in this economy. There is a skills gap from a digital perspective. So as a company, we have goals about supporting digital inclusion, and digital inclusion is quite a wide-ranging topic. So when I talk about digital inclusion, you've got one end of the spectrum, which is no access to data, devices, broadband, no skills, so can't even send emails, text. It's by and large, it's the older generation, but then the skills gap from the other side, from contributing to the economy, jobs and skills and that element of it, there is a skills gap that the government is trying to address, and the work that you guys have done for the last 6 weeks is obviously 6 weeks, that goes really quickly, and it's probably just making you want to do even more, learn even more. How can you get even better? So it's the tip of the iceberg really from that perspective, but I just think it's so admirable that you've all recognized that you want to upskill yourself and you see the intrinsic value of doing that, not only for yourself. It's so nice to hear the word like you feel empowered, Fadzi, because that's so important. So much of going out there trying to get a job, when you do have the job and working, is you do have to feel a sense of empowerment, purpose, like you're contributing to something, that you have a real understanding of what you're doing. So yeah, that was so nice to hear that you feel empowered by doing this work, and you can take that with you, and that sort of renewed sense of confidence, because building knowledge is power. The more you know, the more confident you can become in certain spaces. So it's just brilliant that you've all found value in it for different ways and want to apply it in different industries. As you say, it's industry agnostic, really. It doesn't matter what industry you're wanting to work in. Data is everywhere. Big data, it informs all business decisions, especially at the top. They want to see the numbers. Why are we doing this? Show me the figures, show me the stats. So if you have that baseline understanding of the numbers, the stats, the insights, that will allow you to then think about how could we apply this data. We call that actionable intelligence in this business. I don't know what they call it elsewhere, but when you have the data, what does that actually mean? What are we looking at? What is this showing? So I think, yeah, it's great that you're all super interested in it, and it's just the beginning, really. And hopefully you guys, you sounded like you all enjoyed it and you want to keep going, keep improving, and hopefully apply that in the next job or the current job that you have.
Yes, and I agree with you, Evie. This is just the start. They're obviously headed out to a much better, end their objectives. That's there. So, Evie, from your perspective, what was the most meaningful outcome of the project?
The most meaningful outcome, honestly, it's just hearing these testimonials. From my perspective as a social value lead, I'll help write responses. I'll make sure that we have winning social value propositions. If we win that tender, it's my responsibility to make sure everything we committed to gets delivered. And I didn't have to do much from my side because it's all managed by yourselves. But I had to make sure that I was checking in, making sure, that the learners were identified, but that was all done so quickly that it was just great to see how fast the impact could turn around, because a lot of the when you work in big business, some things can be quite slow because you're reliant on loads of approval chains. Things can be slower, whereas the beauty of a small business like Purplebeard, which is also such a great thing that we were able to do, a big business supporting a small entity, which is very important, and small to medium enterprises, SMEs as we call them, they are crucial to the economic growth of this country. Most businesses in this country are SMEs, and they are crucial, and big businesses like my own should be supporting smaller businesses like this through social value. So not only were we able to have that really localized impact with you three, which is fab, but also it's great to be able to support specialist SMEs like yourself who are having that impact and who are focused on supporting the government with that skills gap and supporting individuals who are experiencing slightly higher barriers to employment, because it's a tough time. It's a tough time at the moment. It's not easy for anyone, but the fact that you guys are all upskilling yourself, that's amazing, and you're doing the right things and doing the right work to get to where you want to be in your next step of your career.
That is true. That is so true. So for Fadzi, Vidya, and Monique, same question to all three of you, and we'll go one by one. If you could just sum up your entire experience on the training program with Purplebeard, could we just hear that out? Maybe we can start with Vidya because you appear first on my screen.
Really, I had a very good experience with the Purple Beard, and from the day I picked up the call from the person who want to interview me about the courses, whether I'm eligible. From the day one till the end of the course, I'm getting so much informations from the team, and especially I would thank Nivedita for the lovely session. She has done a very good job, and she has given, other than the training part, she has given so many informations. And also I enjoyed during the employability session as well. And the entire session was so much insightful informations, and I really enjoyed and gained so many informations, and it will be a good added value for me. And special thanks to Dimple as well for this lovely for this opportunity. Thank you so much, everyone.
And Srividya, since I've got you here, what message would you give to other women considering a similar pathway?
Definitely, they have to give a try, and they should keep on upskilling their skills. Like they should keep on learning, and they should keep on growing themselves.
Lovely. And just if I have to ask you one word to describe the entire program.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Lovely. Yes, that is lovely. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shri. Fancy, what about you? What message would you like to give other women considering the similar pathway that you've just experienced?
I'll definitely say to other women, give yourself the chance to try something different and to expand your data skills, your tech skills, because like Evie has said earlier, that's the way the world is moving. We're not going backwards. It's only going to be more and more technical going forwards. And empowering a woman empowers a community. Women do tend to pass on their skills or the benefits of their skills to their families and to the people around them. So definitely as a woman, don't shy away from tech, just embrace it. Yeah.
Super lovely. And what is the one word you'd like to describe this program?
The word I used the other day, transformative, because I've been in the same profession since I graduated, and I never really thought I could branch out into anything else. And this has given me the confidence to just say, no, I can be more than I am,
Oh,
than
that's
what I have
wonderful.
been.
That's really wonderful. Thank
And
you
I
so much,
just
Fats.
And
Yes.
can I just also just
Oh,
thank
yes.
Evie and Dimple for facilitating this this experience, and for Nivedita for your capable training and everything that you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Monique, your turn to shine. So, Monique, how was your experience? One word that you'd like to use for this program and the advice you'd like to give to other women.
It was insightful. I learned a lot, and I feel like I'm all about like empowering young women because I used to run a project around empowering young women. So I feel like being able to give women this opportunity is very fantastic, and it enables us to gain knowledge and experiences in different fields that we probably would never have thought we would be able to enter, because usually tech is more focused on like men and what they can do. So I thought it was really like remarkable that women were being given this opportunity. And I will definitely like I actually have told people about this course already, and a lot of people I know are interested. So if you were to like do this course again, I'll definitely be able to like signpost people to this. And yeah, that's it really. Yeah, it was really good.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Monique. Evie, coming back to you, uh, would you consider more initiatives like this in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I think, as I said, hearing you guys talk about your experience and how you're going to apply it in your own lives and career just brings it all to life. My role is quite busy because social value, it cuts across 3 different areas. So you've got like the social side, which is about community sport, economics, which is skills, and then the environment. So that's all about how we're driving our carbon emissions down, supporting circularity, so reducing waste in our supply chain, that stuff. So it's quite a varied role. And because it's so fast paced, I don't usually have time to sit still and think about, oh, what has been the real world impact of what we've been doing? Usually it's just go, 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 get this done, get this delivered, which sounds a bit clinical, but when it's fast paced, you just have to keep going. So to have this sort of session and hear about the real world impact of having this training and how it's going to be applied, it's just brilliant, and it makes me want to shout about it and think about how we can, continue this good work, what we could do more of, and yeah, no, it's been fantastic partnership, and so clear what the impact is of these training courses.
That's really always good to hear. And Evie, what advice would you give to other organizations who are considering investing in social value projects?
So I would say, I mean, I come from a huge business, and so our competitors are, like I said, the BTs, the Vodafones. These are brands you've all heard of, and they don't tend to struggle with social value and social impact because they're huge organizations that will have dedicated resource to what their social impact strategy is, which causes they want to get behind because that aligns with them as a business. But I'd say those organizations that are a bit smaller and finding their feet and wanting to understand how they can have local impact, because that's what social value is all about. It's about hyper localized impact and being able to say, if you didn't win this contract, this work wouldn't have happened. So it has to be very clear that because we won this has happened. So I think for smaller organizations that are bidding for public sector work and there are social value elements of it, I'd say, remember there are small organizations operating all over the UK or within that local area that you're wanting to bid for, who are experts in supporting individuals. You guys are the experts. We're experts in broadband and mobile, hopefully, and that's how we also do deliver social value. So we put a lot of free broadbands in charities, give out devices, free data with the National Data Bank, that good stuff. But when it comes to delivering this sort of session, we're not necessarily equipped for it because that's not our USP, so unique selling point. But Purple Bid's USP absolutely is empowering women to upskill in tech and have those vital skills. So my advice would be, there's experts out there that can really help you deliver social value. It's just about doing the research, making the calls, understanding if those businesses are fit for purpose to support your own social value objectives.
Fabulous. And Evie, just one last question. If you could sum up the impact of the entire pilot in a sentence, what would you say?
I guess it's a bit harder for me because the impact is clearly, I mean, it's great for me because this has clearly worked very well. It's been a seamless experience from my side of the table. But that doesn't really matter. What matters here is the impact it's having on the three women that were supported by this and were really put their everything into it. And I think you do just get out what you put in, and it sounds like all three, I know Monique's dropped off, but it sounded like Monique really lent into it, and is trying to maximize the opportunity in front of them. So the pilot sounds brilliant, and I would say impactful. That's what it has sounded like for each of the individuals who participated. So impactful and positive. There's two. Because impactful could be negative. We'll say positive impact.
And I agree with you. Yeah, that is a fact. That's wonderful. Dimple, would you want to say something to our women?
I think you guys have said it all, and it's been really, I'm very excited about this. And Evie, thank you for funding, and Fadzi, Monique, Srividya, thank you so much for putting in all of that work and kind of taking it away. Again, I'll speak to Nivedita because there's some things I've had in mind while listening to you about the kind of roles you should apply for. So I'll send that information across to Nivedita, and again, we'll offer you that support to get into the right roles. So you can really kind of go and shine and keep growing those data skills for further on, and wherever we can support in terms of our networks, it's available to to all three of you. And we hope we can do more of these, because I think, we want to see more and more. And, they always say that it's a ripple effect, right? You kind of throw in a stone and then it's got all these ripples. So I think it's always these ripples that kind of add up. My mum says that every drop of water fills a pot. And, if we looked at it, social values, or impact that we're having globally or in the UK, especially around tech, around skills, around empowerment, around, diversity, it's every drop of water that'll fill that pot and kind of make it a more even playing field. But again, I think it's a collaboration, it's a partnership. So it's not just about Purple Beard or Virgin or the applicants, the benefactors of this, but it's about all of us working together and continuing to collaborate, so we can then sort of spread that impact out, take it further, grow it further, and see what kind of happens. And this is something we are very passionate about, as Evie knows. I think the premise, the ethos of the company is about how can we support more diverse talent into tech, what skills can we support them with, how can we empower them. And I think this project has really kind of hit some of those key milestones for us as an organization, because it's been really wonderful listening to all of your stories, listening to where you came from, where you're going to, and we'll continue to grow, really. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and thank you very much to Nivedita, because I think Nivedita has been instrumental in sort of bringing it all together. Me and Evie have been we did our job and said, all right, then Niv, you get on with it. Yeah, kind of,
So you've done the hard work for sure, and the three lovely ladies, you've done the hard work doing the training.
Yeah.
Me and Dimple are just like, yep, you guys
Get on with it if you have any
crack on.
problems, and but I think, yes, so Nivedita, very big thank you to you. And again, I'll send you some feedback around some of the kind of roles Vidya, Fadzi, and Monique need to apply for,
Yes.
and how we can best support.
Right. So I think that'll be
Wonderful.
really good. And I think Vidya and Fancy will be working more closely. Like Dimple has mentioned right now, you'll be hearing more from me. So probably
Wonderful.
might wake up in the night hearing my sound in your sleep. It's been like that. But it's been wonderful training each one of you. The entire, thank you so much for turning up for every of the sessions. You could have done anything else in your evening hours, but you chose to come to a training, which just shows it validates your motivation in your career journey. And hence, we are so much determined to make sure you reach those goals. Thank you so much, Evie. This wouldn't have even taken off if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for each one of you. And thank you so much for coming in this morning to talk to us and speak to us. Evie, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. We had a 5-minute call before, so I know how things are there. But thank you so much, given everything that's happened, you've come here. But I really appreciate and thank you for the opportunity. And it's been a wonderful experience, even for me, training each one of you. As much as I've trained you with data skills, I've learned so much from each one of you. So thank you so much for that.
And thank you very much. Really appreciate all your time, and we'll just continue the work.
Thank you,
Take
everyone.
care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.